Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening to all our viewers all around Europe and all around the world joining us online. Good evening to all the enthusiasts of healthcare innovation. Welcome to the final demo day of EIT Health Challenge-Based Accelerator program powered by Roche. My name is Martin Vesely. I'm a project manager at CIVITTA, and I'll be your moderator tonight. And I'm excited that tonight we can showcase to you the 9 startups that have been developing innovative solutions to some of the most pressing healthcare challenges. These startups have participated in the acceleration program, and let me quickly tell you about what it actually is. The Challenge-Based Acceleration Program is an international program for early-stage digital healthcare ventures run by Roche and EIT Health, InnoStars, and organized by CIVITTA. The first batch back in 2019 was actually quite local. It was only 6 startups from Slovakia and Czech Republic, and then we scaled it to international markets where we invited startups from over 16 countries, and we've continued with this successful program with a 3rd batch, and we are very happy to see other 9 startups joining us for this esteemed program. And this demo day is a culmination of a 2-month program for HealthTech startups. And our mission is actually to foster a community of innovators, experts, decision makers, and enthusiasts in order to bring groundbreaking innovations in healthcare to market faster. These 9 projects that you'll see tonight are aiming to improve healthcare and the lives of patients in our regions. And they've been improving their innovative ideas over the course of the last 2 months with the help of experienced mentors, industry experts, business coaches, and investors. And these companies have been selected from a very, very tough competition of over 100 applicants. And they took part in this program to take their business to the next level and find potential collaborations with our main partner, Roche. But let's look at what's ahead of us tonight. The 9 startups will pitch their innovative solutions addressing 4 specific challenges that we have identified together with our experts from EIT Health and Roche. The first challenge is advancing breast cancer screening and early diagnostics. The second challenge was remote patient monitoring of multiple sclerosis patients. Third challenge was bridging gaps in patient transitions and patient pathways. And the 4th challenge was transforming medical education for physicians. But tonight we also have an esteemed panel of experts from representatives of EIT Health InnoStars, Roche, Lumos Investment, and CIVITTA. They will be challenging and questioning our startups, hoping to provide some feedback. And also a very unique keynote speaker, Mr. Moritz Hartmann, the global head of Roche Information Solutions, who will talk about the topic of shaping a healthier future, innovations from Roche. Firstly, the 5 startups from Challenge 1 and 2 will present. After that, we'll have a keynote speech from Mr. Hartmann, and then we'll have the last 4 startups pitch towards the end. And you can also engage with us online. You can either chat with us through the YouTube comments if you're joining via YouTube. And we've also prepared Slido for you. So if you go to slido.com or click on the link in the comments and type in the code HealthcareLab, you can let us know where you're joining us from, or you can let us know towards the end which startup you actually liked the most through a public poll. And let's go to our partners, because running a successful and meaningful accelerator is almost impossible without great partners who believe in the vision of what you're trying to achieve and are working with you. And I would like to thank to our main partner, EIT Health InnoStars and Roche, and to the organizers and the whole team of CIVITTA for doing an amazing job for the past couple of months putting this whole program together. And I would like to also thank to all the mentors and coaches for their support and long-term collaboration, which has always been great. And last but not least, also to the startups for doing such an amazing job for the past few months. But now let me welcome the representatives of our partners one by one, and I would like to invite on stage Veronika Piknová, the innovation partner at Roche Slovensko. Hi, Veronika. Welcome here with us in the studio. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Really excited about the program tonight. What about you?
I'm very excited to see the startups as well. And do you have a message that you would like to share with them before we start?
Definitely. So I'm really thrilled to be here tonight on behalf of Roche. As you may know, Roche is one of the biggest healthcare company worldwide, headquartered in Basel, Switzerland. The core business of Roche is focusing on cutting-edge solutions in pharmaceuticals and diagnostics. During the history of the company, which is almost 130 years by now, we were always focusing on the research and development. Till today, the company is still heavily investing in the research and development, and it's among the top biotech companies worldwide. You may be wondering now, why am I mentioning this? Let me share with you that research and development go hand in hand with innovation. Therefore, innovation is deeply engraved in our culture and in the company DNA. Therefore, we are really excited to share one of our long-term commitment and vision of Roche to provide better patient outcomes for reduced cost to the society. You may be wondering, how are we going to tackle such a huge challenge? In this case, I would like to share with you, we definitely can't do it alone. That's why I am really excited to be here tonight with our dear partners, EIT Health as well as CIVITTA, already for the third time, launching the third batch of Healthcare Lab Accelerator for our startups. We were really excited to receive more than 100 applications from 16 European countries related to our 4 challenges. These 4 challenges were carefully selected by our therapeutic areas team, following the patient journey flows and highlighting the biggest pain points for our patients to achieve desired outcomes. Projects such as Healthcare Lab allow us to get closer to the startups, collaborate, nurture the local and regional innovation ecosystems, and through this, we believe in the future with these beyond-the-pill solutions and several digital health solutions, we can really provide better healthcare outcomes for our patients. Now, why are we here tonight? It's definitely not because of us, but it's for our 9 startups. Let me congratulate them on graduating from our 2-month program, where we provided them internal and external mentorship and further guidance. It was really interesting to see their passion and dedication in such a complicated field as healthcare definitely is. But let me thank you for not giving up. I believe when we join forces together in the future, we can really shape the healthcare for our patients. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Veronika. Thank you for joining us here tonight. And next, I would like to welcome Tamas Bekashi, the Risk Business Creation Manager of EIT Health InnoStars. Hi, Tamas.
Hey, good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes.
So I'm really glad to be with you. I'm sorry that not in person, but online. So I'm a little bit echoing, but I would like to first really summarize where we are with InnoStars and how would we get to the cooperation with Roche for years, actually. So as you most of you probably know, EIT Health is one of the largest innovation backed up by the European Union. And our main mission is actually to strengthen the innovation landscape within Europe and, of course, accelerate young innovators to the market. We do have the education, innovation, and business creation. We can call it accelerator pillars. And throughout the years, we actually supported hundreds of startups, young entrepreneurs, but we are not by our own. So from the really beginning, we are aware of that we definitely are stronger, and definitely the entrepreneurs are much more eager to have our support whenever we have cooperation throughout the academy and, of course, the cooperation landscape. So from the very beginning, we search for opportunities to work together with corporations like Roche. And now we are having the 3rd year's edition of challenge-based accelerator programs. In the first 2 years, that was Healthcare Lab. Now it's slightly different, but hopefully in the next upcoming years, we can continue the cooperation and we would have more and more challenge-based and corporation-based programs together with Roche. Of course, the biggest benefit here, so it's pretty obvious, that startups, besides having the lectures, having the support, and having the European network of EIT Health and also Roche are having the opportunity to work together with an organic part of the ecosystem. And this is our main objective within EIT Health, that besides many other supports, many other forms of support, we would like to connect the partners and members of the ecosystem throughout Europe. And this program is a shining example that how can we do it and how can we make actually cooperation better if we are team up strong players throughout the ecosystem. So I really believe that this lineup is one of the strongest from the previous years. So I would really like to encourage the investors within the lines of the audience to watch out and check out who are the best in the lineup and who are the eager ones who would like to get the support and cooperate, of course, with the other parts of the ecosystem, because I truly believe that many of these startups would have a shiny future in the upcoming years. So first of all, best luck for all the startups, and of course, good entertaining for the audience and the rest of the team. So thank you guys for being here. And of course, we try to give the best feedbacks throughout the panels in the upcoming hours. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Tamás, for those kind words. And last but not least, I would like to welcome on stage Peter Kolsar, partner at CIVITTA Slovakia. Hi, Peter. Hello. Welcome here on stage in person as well. How are you doing tonight?
Thank you. Thank you, Martin. I am excited. I am curious. And all of that, those emotions together. Yeah, very, can't wait for the pitches to start.
And what do you have to say on behalf of CIVITTA about all of this? A lot has been said, but what can you add?
Yeah, just a few thoughts to kind of complement what Veronica and Tamás has said about the program. Today is a showcase of 9 startups that have participated in the 8-week-long program. The program, as Veronica indicated, was extremely competitive. We received over 100 applications from over 20 countries. And the founders that you will see pitching today have received expertise, advice, mentorship, coaching from some of the top experts in different healthcare domains from around Europe and actually globally. So I'm really hoping that the program is already changing their lives, changing their companies, so they can bring healthcare innovations to the market, but also to patients faster. And me and Martin represent a company called CIVITTA. We're an innovation advisory and startup hub. And our mission is to be the catalyst for the new economy, helping innovators and innovations thrive, be it in the public sector, startups, corporates, or academia. Because startups are agents of change. They are bringing solutions to some of the most pressing problems around us in our societies. And it is partnerships like this partnership between EIT Health, InnoStars, Roche, and CIVITTA that are helping fast-track the birth and also growth of tech companies, not only in the region of Central Europe, but around the world. So I'm extremely grateful for this partnership, and I really can't wait to see the 9 pitches and also the keynote speech from one of the most recognized personalities of Roche, the global biotech leader. So, you know, gear up for a really, really exciting evening. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Peter. Thank you for those kind words. I'll take the mic from you, and we'll move on to the last part, where 9 startups will present in turn the 4 challenges. So in the first part, we'll hear from startups from challenge number 1 and 2. After that, we'll have the keynote speech, and then the last 4 startups from the other 2 challenges. And each startup will have 4 minutes to present their solutions based on what they've already been working on many years and what they found out in the program. Depending, you know, they may describe a bit more to you what they've developed together with Roche. And our expert panel will evaluate each of the startups and prepare specific feedback towards their growth and collaboration with big companies such as Roche. And now is the time to welcome our esteemed expert panel, who will put our startups to the test with their questions. So let's see if we have them online with us. Hi, hello everyone. First of all, I'd like to welcome Jonas Fiedler-Kierkegaard, the Global Commercial Lead of Digital Health at Roche. Hi, Jonas.
Hi, very nice to be here.
Hi, welcome. Next, I would like to welcome Tamas, who you've seen, EIT Health InnoStars Risk Business Creation Manager. Hi, Tamas. Next, I would like to welcome Zuzana Zamborska, co-founder at Lumus Investment Collective, the female business angel group. Hi, Zuzana.
Hello.
Okay, and last but not least, I would like to welcome Harry Tallinn, partner at CIVITTA, joining us from Estonia. Hi, Harry.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
Hi, thank you very much. And now let's go to the stars of the evening, the first part with 5 startups from challenge number 1 and 2. Bit of technical difficulties. Right, so let's start with the first challenge. So for each of the challenges, I'll give you a brief intro about why this challenge has been selected and what we're looking for. And then I'll bridge it to the startups and I'll introduce each startup individually. But first, let me talk a bit about the first challenge, advancing breast cancer screening and early diagnostics. Well, we all know that best cure is actually prevention, and it's a mantra that's been around for a long time, and it's a mantra for a reason. And especially in breast cancer, which remains still to be public health concern in most of the countries, it is one of the most prevalent cancers around the world. And it's, with any serious disease like this, timely diagnosis is key, and it reduces the severity of interventions and significantly improves the chances of survival of all of the patients. And the current problem still lies in the screening and in poor participation in screening, in awareness and accessibility to good diagnosis. And in this challenge, we're seeking innovative solutions to actually enhance the breast cancer screening accessibility and trying to leverage the cutting-edge technologies promoting awareness, education, and interdisciplinarity. And the first startup that we've selected for the program is Blue Box from Spain. And this startup is tapping into a novel diagnostic area in this space, and it's urine. And you'd be surprised how much you can actually find out from one's urine, as I was discussing with Judith during the program. And they're developing a bespoke technology, the portable and low-cost Blue Box device that can detect breast cancer in urine with a surprising accuracy. And the Blue Box solution is presented to you by Judith, who should start sharing her screen quite soon so you can see it. So Judith, please start sharing your screen, and then we'll get right to your presentation. Thank you very much. Judith.
Hello, everyone. Did you know that breast cancer is one of the most treatable cancers in the world, but it is still the #1 cancer killer for women? Well, I am Judith. Welcome to this demo day by Roche and EIT Health. I am very excited to introduce you to the Blue Box, a breast cancer test from a urine sample. Now, has anyone here ever taken a mammogram? How was the experience? The feedback from most patients is that mammography is an unpleasant situation, but they are not the only ones to criticize mammography. There is an ongoing debate on the efficiency of mammography because of its radiation dose, its cost, and its difficulty to increase compliance to screening programs. So imagine you could get breast cancer tested just like that, introducing a urine sample in a box, and then the patient could visualize the results in a user interface as easy as this one. My team and I are a team of engineers and scientists that have been working on this solution. We have trained and validated our algorithm together with our scientific advisors from the universities we have emanated from, the University of Barcelona and the University of California, Irvine. Together, we are now focusing on achieving regulatory approval, achieving CE mark for the Blue Box, and launch in Europe next year and in the US later on. Our target market is the global breast cancer screening market, which is as big as $4 billion, but this is not our limit. In the future, we aim at becoming a prevention hub, therefore becoming a global cancer test. However, such an ambitious mission, we cannot go alone. We need strong partners that are well positioned in the market, just like, for example, Roche. Together with Roche, we are proposing a pilot so that we can better identify our target market, we can better understand user needs, and finally, better generate science to achieve a reimbursement strategy. The specific case of Slovakia is a very interesting case for us. In Slovakia, the breast cancer screening program was not implemented until 2019, which means that such a young program has still some room for improvement. The compliance rate of this program is one of the lowest in Europe, is under 20%, with only 24 centers, accredited centers, to get breast cancer screened. This causes that around 40% of women accessing treatment have already an advanced cancer. In front of such a pressing problem, we are proposing a solution. We need a low-cost solution that can increase compliance to the program and can be run and can be used in any facility. What do we do now? What is the current scenario? Well, now, as you might know, women undergo mammography at least once every 2 years. If they test positive, they undergo further testing. If they test positive, they undergo a biopsy. And finally, they are labeled as breast cancer patients. What we proposed is to have the blue box become the new gold standard for breast cancer prevention. Our results, last year, we achieved very promising results, positioning the blue box as a promising tool for breast cancer screening because we hit our target of mammography equivalence. We are more sensitive than mammography, 15% more sensitive for women all ages and 30% more sensitive for young women, a very, very underserved population. The outcomes of the pilot is to calculate the combined performance of using the blue box with further testing before going to biopsy and quantifying how many women would be detected, how many more women would be detected, and how many women would not undergo unnecessary biopsies because they are healthy. At the same time, we think we could add value to our partners. At the same time that we are gaining and we're generating scientific evidence to penetrate this market, we think that Roche could also win. It could be driving patients to access treatment at early stages when treatments are more efficient. Okay. It could also increase the performance.
Thank you very much, Judith. That's our time. Sorry, I have to stop you here. Don't worry, maybe there'll be time during the Q&A where you can finish your presentation. And I would like to invite our expert panel, if we can get them on the screen to ask you some tough and challenging questions. So who would like to ask first? Let's go to Jonas.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
So first of all, thank you so much for a really good presentation. And no doubt you're trying to solve a really, really important pain point here, earlier detection of breast cancer. So thank you so much for having a laser focus on this. I have two questions. It's good to see on your slide that you expect to get your CE mark this year. Can you tell us a bit about how you're tracking on that target?
So how we are achieving CE mark this year, you asked?
Yes, how are you tracking on that target to obtain the CE mark this year? Everything going as planned?
Yeah, so this year we have finished the training and validation part of the study. We have been working with 7 hospitals for 3 years. We have enrolled more than 500 women in our pilot studies. We have finished that part, and now we're working with a CRO to run another clinical trial with a frozen device. It will be the commercial device. So we are now starting to produce the commercial units, and we will do a clinical trial the second half of this year because of that, and we are inviting, so what we are doing here is inviting new centers to this pilot.
Okay, so when do you expect to have a product you can put on the market and sell to customers?
We will submit the documentation by the end of the year, the technical documentation to the notified body, and we should achieve CE mark by the middle of next year, and therefore enter the market next year.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Tamas wanted to ask a question. Let's go to Tamas.
Thank you for your presentation. It was really fascinating. Just a quick question about the commercialization part. So what are your expectations? Of course, I'm aware of that you are about to launch the product, but in the upcoming 3-5 years, what is the expectation of yours from the revenue perspective? Also a question that, are you looking for an investor, or how would you like to plan the upcoming years from financial wise? I know it's a huge question, so just in a high level, okay?
Yeah, so entering the market with such a disruptive technology can be challenging. So our goal is to put a lot of effort in generating the necessary scientific and clinical evidence. So our plan is to first engage with key stakeholders that can endorse our product and can help the Blue Box be part of the clinical workflow that patients are undergoing right now. And secondly, we will continue to go to conference and present our results in front of the medical community because for us, their feedback is key. In fact, we have co-designed this product with clinicians and we will continue to do so as we plan to enter the market.
Okay, thank you very much, Doreen. So unfortunately, that's our time. I saw that maybe Susanna wanted to ask a question, so I'll just remind our panelists and also our startups to keep those questions and answers to the point so we get as much information as we can get. But thank you very much, Judith, for your presentation. You can now stop sharing your screen and we'll move on to the next startup, which is actually Gluma from Portugal, and they focus on patients even sooner, before even patients seek a professional. And as you may know, one of the sort of like, so to speak, gold standards of breast cancer screening is actually a self-exam at home, which can be quite difficult to do for women and to actually understand what they need to feel out for. And Gluma is developing an easy-to-use and portable medical screening device, the Sense Glove, to detect and monitor changes in the breast tissue in the comfort of your home, which will be presented to you by Francisco, who I see on the Zoom now, who can start sharing his screen. And I would like to hand him the word. Thank you very much, Gluma. The stage is yours.
Thank you.
Let's go to presenter mode, Francisco. There you go. You can start.
So, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it. You can go ahead.
Yes. So, hello everyone. We are Gluma, and we detect breast cancer at an early stage. But first, let me share with you the story that inspired us. This is Filipa, she's my cousin, and she had breast cancer. She used to do the breast self-exam, however, she didn't have confidence in herself doing this. So when she felt something in her breast, she thought it was nothing. 3 months later, the lump didn't disappear, so she went to the doctor. And the results, a malignant cancer and mandatory breast removal. But as Filipa, there are thousands of women who don't have confidence doing the breast self-exam, who don't know how to do it, or just simply forget to do it. And that's why 35% of breast cancers are not detected at an early stage. That's why we created the Sense Glove, a home and portable medical screening device that detects and monitors abnormalities in the breast tissue by combining pressure sensors and artificial intelligence. It is also connected to a mobile app, so we remind women to perform the breast self-exam every month through push notifications. By having a tutorial in our mobile app, we replicate the exam step by step, and by combining it with sensors and AI, we create this unique system with an already submitted patent that allows us not only to detect abnormalities, but also to keep track of changes over time, providing actionable results. So if the glove detects something, the app will send an alert to patients and connect them to their doctors. We strive to improve the standard of care. So it's important to note that this is an enhancement of the breast self-exam, helping underserved populations to get faster access to diagnostic exams. What we want with our solution is to put the experience of thousands of doctors into women's hands with the help of AI, encouraging them to act at the right time, reducing the uncertainty and risk of late detected breast cancers, improving the prognosis of the disease. And yes, our technology works. We did our proof of concept where we tested our device in 40 patients, and our sensors got the diagnosis right 88% of the time, with only 12% rate of false positives, and we achieved the perfect record with no false negatives. Right now, we are conducting clinical trials in 4 Portuguese hospitals to collect data from 500 patients, and we also count with 12 letters of interest of doctors and Portuguese players. Our business model is based on a direct sale plus hardware as a service. where with an optional annual subscription, where we will be offering all the functionalities of the mobile app, free maintenance, and free software and hardware updates. This means that if something happens to the glove, the user sends it to us and we'll send a new one. Or if there are new versions, we can replace it free of charge. In this way, we can recycle and reuse components that are still working, reducing waste and lowering our production costs. In 2023, we closed our first investment round and we have distributed our first paid pilots. And this year we want to register our products in the FDA since we have a medical device class 1 there. And we also want to start to distributing our first paid pilots in the US. My name is Francisco, I'm a biomedical engineer, so I have the technical expertise to do this. Frederico joined me with his knowledge in management and digital innovation, and we are a multidisciplinary team of 6 with skills in management, engineering, data, machine learning, regulatory affairs, and marketing. This accelerator really helped us with some challenge that we were facing in our regulatory pathway, and we are now looking for partners as Roche to expand our clinical trials and increase the variability of our data. So join us, because at Luma we cannot stop breast cancer, but we can help women stop dying from it. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Francisco. You can keep your screen on share, that's fine. And let's go to our expert panel to see who would like to ask the first question. Zuzana, let's go to you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Francisco, for the great presentation. My question is that in the milestones we saw only like 2 years ahead, like 2025, I think. So maybe if you can share with us like the longer.
Sorry, we stopped
and
hearing. Yeah, we stopped hearing.
Investment, like you know which parts within team or development.
We are not listening. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Susanna, the second part of your question got a bit broken up, so if you can just repeat the second part real fast.
Yeah, thank you.
If you are searching for the investment, what will be the usage of these funds?
The usage of the device.
So how will you allocate your investment?
So our investment is to go to do some pilots to get the certification, the final step of the certification. And to produce units for those pilots. So the investment is mainly for this.
Okay,
and
thank you.
The first question of the first part was, if I may, like in the milestones, we saw just the year 2025. If you can, walk us to the next years, what will come, like there is expansion, is there for the next years that you are, planning, or like the milestones you are expecting?
So I think Susanna is asking about the closer milestones, because we only see one big milestone. So what's between now and 2025?
Yeah, so basically between now and 2025 is we basically are preparing all the documentation for the submission to the FDA and the CE mark. We started doing the first paid pilots with users at home. We are working with some Portuguese companies to do some pilots to validate our solution, and we are working to get some partners to do another type of pilots, and this would be the type of the partner that we are looking to work with Roche and the other players, which is the part where we do the trial that will validate our solution on the market. So basically it would be a pilot with a 3-arm trial where we have users that don't use our glove, users that use, and a control group where we make sure that we are adding value to the current pathway of the user.
Okay, thank you. We only have 20 seconds of Q&A. Maybe Harry, do you have a quick question?
Yes. No bad thoughts behind it, but when I was looking at the team as well, then I got myself from a quick random question that is it a technological solution looking for a place to be used, or was it vice versa? How did you come up with this solution for this problem?
Is the technological solution what, sorry?
Looking for a problem or vice versa?
We are not looking for The solution is not looking for a problem. The problem we found, as Francisco shared in his story of his cousin, and we went to the streets and we talked with a lot of women and a lot of hospitals, and we understood that this is a worldwide problem and that we need to act sooner and help women act sooner and go sooner to the doctor.
Okay.
Did I answer your question?
That's it. I think that answered the question. Thank you very much to the guys from Gluma. And now we're moving on to the remote patient monitoring of multiple sclerosis patients. As we're getting the startups ready, I'll briefly describe this challenge because multiple sclerosis is a very serious neurodegenerative disease and poses unique challenges for patients and obviously for doctors. And it has I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it has a very silent and slow progression and is difficult to monitor without expert insights or regular doctor visits. And this challenge was actually focused on finding innovative solutions to overcome barriers in communication and visits between patients and doctors, ensuring effective and patient-centric care for individuals that have been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and hoping that we can minimize, the delays in recognition of disease advancements and that the doctors can adjust the treatment so the patients feel as comfortable as possible. And we actually have 3 startups presenting within this challenge this evening. And the first startup is Mild Blue from Czech Republic. And Mild Blue aim to make the work of healthcare professionals simpler, more accurate, and faster by developing artificial intelligence algorithms and digital solutions. And their core product, Health Warden, aims to bring telemedicine to a new level. And Mild Blue will be presented by Tomáš.
Hello everyone. My name is Tomáš Kouřim. I'm the CEO of Mild Blue, and today I would like to introduce you our remote patient monitoring app, Health Warden. But before I do so, let me introduce you someone else. This is George. George is living with a chronic heart failure, a manageable condition with the right treatment. Despite regular visits to his cardiologist and diligent medication routines, George sometimes experiences worsening symptoms leading to distress and even hospital stays. And well, no one really wants to stay in hospital. This all changed when George's cardiologist adopted Health Warden. Health Warden is a transformative remote patient monitoring solution designed as a mobile application for the patient and a web portal for healthcare professionals. Health Warden offers comprehensive monitoring outside traditional medical settings, enabling timely interventions and enhancing home care. Health Warden's modularity allows to focus personally and tailor-made care on each case. And the case consists of a patient, its conditions, the doctor, and the hospital. The open architecture of Health Warden allows seamless integration with existing hospital systems for an efficient care continuum. The Health Warden's impact is profound. Patients, like George, gain invaluable freedom and peace of mind staying connected to their care teams without unnecessary visits to the hospital. Medical professionals gain clear overview of the whole cohort of patients, optimizing their time, focus, and attention to where it actually matters. And hospital managers appreciate the reduced bed occupancy, allowing more resources to be allocated for acute cases, for elective care, aligning with the budgetary needs of the hospital. The 4 main benefits for George are that he can stay at home with his family and with the home food, because the food is the worst in the hospital. George can also adhere to the care, to the treatment plan that he is supposed to follow resulting in improved medical and health results. And a constant connection to his care team brings peace of mind for him and for his closest family. HealthVarden's scalability and modularity mean it's not just for health failure patients. It holds the potential to revolutionize care for individuals with a wide range of conditions. And it offers a possibility for a new patient-centered healthcare. Now, what do George and HealthVarden have in common? Well, they are both in a search of significant partnerships. HealthVarden is seeking a strategic ally to expand its reach globally.
Thank you, Tomasz. Sorry, that's your time. Maybe you'll have time to expand on what you're describing in the expert panel Q&A. So let's see who from our experts have questions for you. Can I see? I can see Jonas smiling. Let's go to Jonas.
Yeah, so thank you for yet another really nice presentation. It seems like you created this universal remote monitoring app, which is great. Can you talk a bit about some of the core functionalities linked to MS patients?
Well, the HealthVarden is connected to a smartwatch and other smart devices, which can help, for example, to observe the progress of the working ability of the multiple sclerosis patients, which is known to deteriorate over time.
Okay. Thank you.
Who else has a question for Tomasz? Maybe let's go to Hari for a question. Yeah.
What has been the biggest progress throughout this program so far in 2 months?
Well, HealthVarden existed before this program. The biggest progress is that it helped us to really frame it and to get a better vision of the future possible applications of HealthVarden. And even though we started with HealthVarden as a cardiology tool, we now see that the potential goes far behind that, and that multiple sclerosis is just one of many conditions that can be treated by HealthVarden, and multiple sclerosis patients are just a small subset of patients that can benefit from HealthVarden.
Okay, thank you very much for the answer. Maybe let's go to Tomasz for another question. Tomasz, do you have a question?
So I'm here, so just have a clip. So, I'm just curious about what is the expected beachhead market of yours? So where would you like to land first? And how would you plan the progress to the outside markets?
Well, in general, it's we are a B2B company or B2G company, because the healthcare system is often very connected with the government. In terms of so that's in terms of business. In terms of geography, we are a company based in the Czech Republic. So our natural expansion goes to the neighboring countries. It's Slovakia, Hungary, Poland. In the eastern direction, it's yeah.
Okay, that's our time, Tomasz. Tomasz, thank you very much for your presentation. And the next startup presenting within this multiple sclerosis challenge will be Neuroblast from Serbia. And as I mentioned, multiple sclerosis also is a very severe disease and also severely, severely affects motor functions of the patients who need a lot of physiotherapy to keep their muscles and neural networks working. And the next startup, Neuroblast, develops solutions to assist both adults and children with neurodegenerative diseases with devices and softwares that actually can perform useful physiotherapy exercises and monitor their disease from the comfort of their home. And I can already see Marco getting ready. I'll just ask Marco to switch on his camera so we can see him nicely, and let's go to Marco.
Hello there. I hope that you can hear me well. I'm Marko Brujic, CTO of Neuroblast, and Neuroblast is a company that makes devices for post-rehabilitation. And we started a few years ago when our CEO and my wife got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis after the childbirth. And then our fight began. She visited several rehabilitation centers for neurorehabilitation, and she got a lot better. But unfortunately, she needed a continuity. After 1 month with neuroplasticity training, she got a lot better. But after that, her condition started deteriorating again. And then I'm a hardware and software engineer with a really big experience and several successful products in other industries. So I was like, okay, let's see what those guys from Tyromotion and Hokoma, what are they doing, and let's make something that you can use at home. So basically, we started Neuroblast in 2021. We presented a lot on Dubai Expo and all that. We raised until now more than 700,000 euros. 300 of those came from World Bank. And this month, next week, we will be presenting at JFK Neuroscience Institute in New York. And we will be published on Microsoft's main website as one of the most prominent startups from this part of the region. We have several products. So Neuroblast ecosystem consists of 4 hardware products and several software products. So one of the main products is a motion controller that tracks all your movements and motivates you to play special design video games for and especially for multiple sclerosis. So we made even our own app store where you have all our games that are dedicated just mostly for the patients with multiple sclerosis and similar neurodegenerative diseases. After that, we made a really nice remote monitoring dashboard where we are getting the infos from our hardware devices, and you can track your patients, their acceleration, how much are they working out, the power, everything. Also, in this accelerator, we integrated the SNDT testing. So basically now from Neuroblast app, you can work on the tests as well, and you can prepare for them really good. We have a lot of educational tests and video games, especially designed for children. We're collaborating with UNICEF about that. This is our second product, Neuroblast Balance Board, where you can straighten up your core muscles, and you can work out also with special design game for the balance. And hand track, it's a specially made 3D ER camera which detects all your movements, and really the miniature one, so it can be used for diagnostic as well, and in real time work out with some additional stuff that we are also currently making. Neuroblast can be used by anyone, but mostly with patients with neurodegenerative diseases, physically and Okay, so
thank you very much, Marco. That's the time.
Okay.
Thank you very much for presenting
Okay.
Neuroblast. Please keep sharing your screen, and we'll go to our experts for the Q&A. Maybe they'll ask you some more questions about what you haven't shared yet. So let's see if we can see our experts there. Thank you very much. And let's go to Harry for the first question.
Yes, maybe it helps you explain a little bit what you couldn't explain so far, but how far are you from actual use by customers, clients?
Well, we are very close.
Presented.
Yeah, we are very close. We totally finished our app store. We finished 2 hardware devices and a third one. Right now, we are presenting everything in New York, but we're planning in July to go in 2 clinics that we already agreed upon. One of those are certified for USA and European market, so it will be tested, with patients, monitoring, and everything. Basically, we finished everything about the App Store as well. We have about 10 finished video games, and we will work more every year on that. So, yeah, that is basically, we are planning to go on the market from the 1st of January next year, to regular patients to have Neuroblast in their homes.
Okay, so time to market question answered. Thank you very much, Marco. Let's go to Susanna. I saw she raised her hand.
Yeah, I have questions about actually the user journey because you were mentioning 4 hardwares, but then you were describing one. So the patient needs all 400 hardwares, or how is it like? If you maybe can you describe in more detail? And then there was a App Store, I understand with the games, but what is the usual user journey? So, which product and so on.
I understand.
User journey, how it all fits together.
Well, you don't have to use all of them. So basically, because my wife, and she went to all those clinics, and she also using, that is why we were so interested in this accelerator, because she's using medication from Roche, all of those for, I think she got all medicine from the pallet. So she's our best user journey. So you can use just 1 or 2, but we certainly recommend at least Neuroblast motion controller and balance board. But you can use the ER camera as well, and smart carpet that is currently in the making. And you guys, especially from Roche, you are probably really you know a lot about that, because in example in Serbia right now they have some kind of smart carpet in the clinics, and the patient will come there once in 6 months, so the checkup on them is really bad. With smart carpet you can have the checkup on daily basis, on weekly basis, the patient's home, and you can give him some the, let's say, quests to do on the smart carpet, some special movements, or simply to track his
Sorry, Marco, that's our time. Thank you very much for presenting Neuroblast to us. And we're looking forward to hearing more from the last startup of this first half of the pitching before we move on to the keynote speech. And the next startup is from Italy called eSteps. And I'll ask our audience maybe to imagine if your shoes could tell you the current status of your health. Can you imagine? Sounds a bit sci-fi, right? Well, eSteps is focusing on developing solutions with personalized mobility markers that can tell your doctors and you as patients new details about your health that you probably didn't even know. And specifically, this has a very interesting use case within multiple sclerosis. So I'll ask Nidal to start sharing his screen and also switch on his camera before I hand him over to start presenting. So maybe Nidal, can you share your screen with us so we can see it? And we'll play a little opener for you, and you can start presenting straight after. This is Nidal from eSteps.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Nidal Lohesi, and I'm CEO of eSteps. With eSteps, we created the first autonomous medical device to detect the progression of motor disability for patients with a chronic disease, like multiple sclerosis. Do you know what is multiple sclerosis? It's like when in your neuron it's broke and you don't know what's happening after. And do you know how often the patient with multiple sclerosis was diagnosed? And do you know how often the patient with multiple sclerosis end up on wheelchairs? Every 5 minutes, we have a newly diagnosed. And 90% of the old patients move on the wheelchairs after 25 years. And this creates a lot of problems, like 440% increased cost for patient, 44% unemployed, and 48% feels abandoned. And the most of them lost their dignity. With the steps today, we have solution. We create the intelligent system to monitor the patient motor activity and to intersect the first symptoms of progression of disability and to send alert to the doctor. With a smart install and app for the patient and the dashboard for the doctor. With our smart install, we can collect high data quality with our artificial intelligence solution. It's comfortable and invisible for outsider, and the time life of the battery is infinity with our IP in international level. Everything is connected with our app, when the patient can improve 90% of the adherence to the treatment, connect to the caregiver, and the most important, it's give more autonomous management. The data sent to our cloud in privacy compliance, when the doctor can monitoring 10 times more patients, have efficient communication with their patient, and fast decision and saving 75% of decision time. I want to introduce you someone very important for me and one of our patients. She is Camila. When she was diagnosed, day by day, she was stressful and confusing because day by day, her motor disability is growing. But when she started to use e-steps, she came back to dancing. Why? Because with e-steps, we can predict 3 months early any progression and give more time for the doctor to check and in case change medication. And this is our social impact, and this is how we can do for give more independence for Camilla. We start in 2020, in 2020 in Italy. From 2023, we just closed to clinical trial and complete the product engineering. We start a marketing campaign and the launch of product from the end of 2023. And just in this year, we are more focused for the marketing launch and the medical device certification to start from the new year for reimbursement system. Behind everything, we have an executive team with commitment with me, 7 years in medical device and social leader from Keynote Foundation, and Riyad, our CTO, with 15 years in IoT, global software architecture, and more. We have 11 members from US, Italy, and Tunisia in different skills. In support, we have different advisors, medical, business, and sales. For Roche, I want to introduce one of the most of our clinical partner. One of it's with the hospital in Verona in Italy. It's our clinical validation on MS with multiple sclerosis, on silent progress of multiple sclerosis, funded by Roche Italy. And the second pilot we are working is one of with the Jefferson Hospital in Philadelphia, with the clinical validation on ataxia, and with the Mayo Clinic for validation of our artificial intelligence model. Our follow-up with Roche is two types of solution collaboration. One is a fully mobility control with the floodlight, and the second it's more focused for digitalization, the impact of the drugs.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nidal. Sorry, that's our time up.
Just only for close, only one word. It's only for to say, for these people, the time is crucial. Please join us if you want to give hope for these people. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, and thank you very much, Nidal, for sharing this powerful message towards the end. And let's see our expert panel to see if they have any more follow-up questions for you. And please, Nidal, make sure to keep your answers short so you can answer as many questions as possible. So, who would like to ask the first question? Let's maybe go to Jonas. I can see him smiling.
Yeah, so really good presentation, really high innovation level. Thank you so much. I just need to understand, is it correct that this smart soul can predict an attack 3 months ahead based on the changes in the motoric ability? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, it's correct.
Okay.
From the motor activity of every day in the lab or outside of the lab, like when you go to school or the university or in the work, we can identify your motor activity. And from this data of today, tomorrow, and every day for a long of 1 or 2 years, we can predict more of 3 months early any progression.
Clear. Can you tell us a bit about your first results, the evidence behind this?
Yeah, we start some collaboration with different hospitals because our focus is more for we work with some hospital in Italy, UK, and US. Okay, and from this hospital, what we do, we just use two type of people with MS and people without MS. Okay, and we monitoring with the same device. We give device for everyone, and we monitoring them for 1 year to identify if there are any progression. Okay, and at the same time, we check with MRI for people with disability and people without. We check one time for 1 year, the MRI, and we check if there are progression of disability, of course, for people with MS. In that case, we validate our motor activity tracking of the product outside of the lab. And the second, we identify if our product, we identify the progression of disability. Because for some people have only one progression for a year. For some other people have more of one progression in 1 year.
Okay. Quite clear. Thank you very much.
But only one information. Of course, it's a model. We have 88% of accuracy. Of course, if we have more patients and more time for tracking the motor.
Oh, I think Nidal froze for a bit, so let's maybe wait for him to come back. Nidal, can you hear us? Okay, well, I'm afraid we cannot hear Nidal anymore. That's a little bit unfortunate, but that's something we cannot really affect. That's something between the sky and the earth that we cannot affect. But thank you very much, Nidal, for your presentation, and we hope we can get the technical issues resolved quite fast. And let's move on to the keynote speech and give our audience a quick break, and also to our expert panel. They've been asking very tough questions and had to think hard about them. So let's move on to Moritz Hartmann, the Global Head of Roche Information Solutions, who will share his keynote speech on shaping a healthier future and the perspective on innovations from Roche. Hi, Moritz. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Martin. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me. I'm actually calling in from the Silicon Valley in California today.
Wow. So you must be loving the weather over there right now.
It's very sunny today, but I'll be going into an airplane later today and come back to Europe.
Well, that's very exciting, and we really appreciate you taking the time, especially this early in the morning, given you're in the West Coast in the US, and spending a few minutes with us, sharing your visions and outlooks on what's ahead of us, and especially in collaboration with Roche. So I will not keep you away from this any further, and I'll ask our production to put you in the presentation mode, and you can take it away, and I'll ask a couple of questions after you finish. So Moritz, once you see the presentation, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone, for having me here today. And let me jump right to the next slide and introduce to you why Roche is invested in innovation and what really makes us unique to be a partner for many of the great innovations that you're bringing forward today. So if we can go to the next slide, please. You've heard already in some of the pitches the role that we're playing in the overall healthcare system as Roche. We are a leader in vitro diagnostics and pathology, where we provided over the last year 27 billion diagnostics tests that form typically 70% of all medical decisions to treat, to diagnose, and to identify the right treatments for patients. We're as well a leader in pharmaceuticals. We're the leading provider of cancer treatments, and we've treated over 16 million patients last year with our medicines. Now, what might still be new to some of you is that we're also trying to bring both this diagnostic and pharmaceutical element together and really look at patients across the entire patient journey. And that is where our brand Navify stands for, and where Roche Information Solutions is building digital health tools that improve patient outcomes across the patient journey. This is a portfolio that is typically agnostic to our own solutions, so that we really focus on finding the right diagnosis and the right treatment, and to monitor that treatment for patients in need of these solutions. If we move to the next slide, please. I want to anchor us a bit more in the challenges, which are at the same time opportunities in today's healthcare system. We have, on one hand, a decentralization of care. The COVID pandemic has led to a massive increase of decentralization and has shifted areas of care into the home setting that have never been imaginable to be performed at the home of a patient. We're seeing an increasing financial pressure to the systems. Here in the United States, this is very apparent, but also the healthcare systems in other parts of the world are recovering from the enormous investments that were needed in the times of the pandemic. And the financial pressure has never been higher to healthcare systems as they are today. At the same time, the expectations of patients are continuously rising to be treated in the right way. We have a lot of talks about equality. Everybody is rightfully so claiming their right to be correctly diagnosed and treated. And we need to work on that challenge collectively. And we also see it as one of the opportunities to really make a step forward in the equality of and in the access of patients to care. At the same time, we're facing a large staffing shortage, which is also causing a threat to the reliability and quality of care. And when we move into more of the digital topics in healthcare, we see an exponential growth of the data that does not just need to be managed, but that's also getting exposed to healthcare professionals. The medical knowledge, according to some studies, is doubling every 73 days. Who can deal with that? Who can actually face this complexity and really on that basis utilize actually all this data to make the best possible decisions for patients? So while all of these are in the first place challenges, they also equally present a lot of opportunities for us to really shape and build better healthcare systems. Now, if we move to the next slide, I want to as well look at the challenges when it comes to innovation in healthcare, in particular, all those elements that need to come together if you're an innovator and a startup in the healthcare space. Healthcare is particularly complex in terms of the trust that needs to be built with the users or with the customers in the healthcare system. Funding and investment has been showing to be particularly difficult over the last 24 months. The adoption of digital health solutions and their validation, actually those, I would almost say these are two separate points because they're both very large challenges for every digital health solution to validate and to provide the proper evidence that solutions really work, but that does not solve yet the adoption in the market. So really large challenges there, obviously very closely linked as well to reimbursement and payment models, which are very decentralized, different from market to market, and have different requirements and high hurdles of requirements to actually be met. I already touched on the clinical validation and the evidence that needs to be provided. Also here we see the topic of equality and the necessity of having decentralized data sets for clinical evidence as an increasing challenge. There's privacy challenges, interoperability, scalability topics, the regulatory compliance, and last but not least, we're as well in an industry that for good reason has been very conservative in adapting new technologies in order to really make sure that patient safety is guaranteed and is protected in the best possible interest of the patients. Yet at the same time, it's also an industry that has over the years been driving innovation. And so the change is, on one hand, we see a resistance and we see how long it takes often for new innovation to be adapted. At the same time, it is as well an industry that knows that there is always the opportunity for newer and better solutions to come. So all of these challenges are really a very large bar, I would like to say, and call it, to be reached for a startup in the healthcare industry to start with. So from the challenges, I want to move now to the opportunities. And if we go to the next slide, please, I'd like to really introduce a very simple concept. I think we can also go one animation further. There's a part of the slide that is not showing up. And we'd like to really invite you to look at the opportunities of how we can build digital ecosystems together. For us, innovation is so vast that we for sure know that we will not be able to bring all the innovations ourselves. We have never done this in our diagnostics or pharma businesses, and we don't have the intention to do so in our digital business, because we truly believe that innovation can come from very different sources. So what we're looking at is what can we bring to the table for innovators to actually help them to have a faster time to impact for patients and to really drive these outcomes. What we bring to the table is our global customer base. We can, through that, accelerate the impact and leveraging a digital backbone that can serve innovators as a platform to actually take out a number of the challenges that I discussed on the earlier slide and invite innovators to join us and to use this infrastructure to then really be faster to the patients and have the ability to bring their solutions in an easier way and to create real-world evidence about the effectiveness of their innovation in a faster way. So we offer a platform ecosystem and we offer a disease management ecosystem, and we invite innovators to join us and to use these opportunities jointly with us so that we can make sure that innovation really brings the rubber to the road. If we go to the next slide, I want to share a very tangible example of such an ecosystem, which we have built on a diagnostics device. The Cobas Pulse meter that you see here is actually an Android-powered medical device that allows nurses to measure glucose of patients in the hospital. This is one of the first devices that uses an Android technology, and so while you look at a medical device, it also really has all the functionalities of a smartphone that we would know from a smartphone. In fact, it's a bit better than a smartphone because it uses a higher quality of sensors and camera technology than you would typically find in a consumer designed product. And we have a number of collaborations with this ecosystem, and innovators can use this open ecosystem on the Cobas Pulse to bring all sorts of tasks and all sorts of applications that deliver care to patients in the hospital bed, directly next to the patient on a device that's already present in the hand of the nurses. So we have partnerships for wound management, for insulin dosing, which is very closely related to the core task of this device. We have temperature monitoring. We have sample tracking for blood samples that may be drawn by that same nurse on the bedside, where the sample then needs to be transported to a central lab for further blood work that needs to be done for patients. And we have an application that can measure arterial fibrillation. So instead of the need of bringing a very expensive and complex device like an EKG to the bedside of the patient, there can be a first analysis done already with putting the device on the patient. So it really simplifies the work of the nurses in the hospital, and it's a device that can do multiple tasks. Now, this is an ecosystem that is growing as this device is as well becoming more and more popular in hospitals. But it also, of course, is it's a really new business model. And what we have learned together with our partners over the past years is also the need for the buying behaviors of the hospitals to be adapted to that. Today, all the tasks that you see here as an example are sourced completely separate from each other. So when you have a device that does multiple tasks, there's really a lot of joint work that we need to do with our partners to influence and to see how can we actually as well change the processes and influence the way how these solutions are being purchased, so that really every single partner on this device can benefit from the access to the customers. I would now like to share a second example of an open innovation ecosystem that we provide. And this is for algorithms, for clinical algorithms that are giving support to clinicians to make better decisions for patients. This is, as I mentioned earlier, an extension of the work that we're doing as a diagnostics company. We provide data points, we provide information, we provide insights to clinicians that help them to take better decisions for patients. And that we're expanding into the world of algorithms. So we're using a process that is well established and well known in the healthcare system and in the relation of a lab with the prescribing physicians. And those prescriptions, so you can order, or physicians actually do something which they do every single day for every single patient. They order a blood test. And we're using the same process now for physicians to order an algorithm. This algorithm is then processed in our digital backbone and is delivered back in the same way as a blood result to the clinician to take the right decisions for that patient. Now, again, this is an area where we are focusing on the process. We're focusing on providing the technical capability and the integration so that data that can be pulled from EMR systems that is multimodal can be processed in the algorithm suite and can then actually deliver these results back to the clinician. And here we're working with multiple partners. Just in the last few days, we had multiple public announcements on new algorithms that are added to this platform. And again, we can then tap into our entire customer base to make algorithms available. So when you're an innovator and you have a really new idea for a clinical algorithm, you can circumvent the challenges of how you integrate the data in the different customer environments that you want to deploy your solution to. You can circumvent to the need for inventing a whole new process and a whole new landscape and actually workflow for the clinician to make your algorithm available. And you can dramatically reduce your time to patient impact through working with us and through utilizing this infrastructure that we have put in place. And of course, you can benefit as well from a commercial perspective of the scale that this solution provides. If we move to the next slide, I want to come back really to the solutions, to the digital health solutions that we're providing across the patient journey. You see the patient journey from prevention all the way to chronic care. And in the lower part, you see those areas that we focus on, those business segments we focus on, and where we, for each of these segments, provide an open ecosystem. And we're inviting you to join us with your innovations so that you can utilize the infrastructure, the integration, and the customer access that we have for each of these business segments. I'm speaking about Lab Insights. As the leader in vitro diagnostics, it is very natural for us that all solutions that are serving the needs of laboratory customers are something that we're building a strong platform for, and we're reaching out to over 40,000 laboratories in the world at the end of this year, and have the ability to actually provide a marketplace for digital solutions to them. We have already more than 160,000 registered users, which are laboratory professionals that you can expose your solutions to through our Lab Insights platform. Clinical decision support, I showed you the example in detail of the algorithm suite, is the second segment that we're serving. Clinical workflow optimization here, particularly for the areas of oncology and cardiometabolic, and in the future as well, neurology is another area where we're providing great possibilities and access points for innovation in these three disease areas. And last but not least, I talked about the decentralization of the healthcare system, and remote patient monitoring and management is, of course, a key part to this. And here again, we have great platforms and access points that we can provide and partner with you. So if you have innovations along the care journey that fit into these four categories, consider Roche as a partner for you to really accelerate the impact that you can have with your innovations to the market, as we have seen actually in the previous examples that were shared as well. And with that, I want to move to my closing slide and just want to re-emphasize once again on a number of real success stories that you see here with some of our partner logos that are displayed here. We have an open and standing innovation to you as innovators to work with us. We offer you to benefit from our experience and the reputation that we have in the market, but also from the really hard-coded technical facts and our global network that is not just commercial, but also technical. And through that, I think we can really then jointly work on our mission to help empower patients and healthcare professionals to utilize digital health tools for better decision-making and for better outcomes for patients. That was my keynote speech that I wanted to share with you. And back to you, Martin. I think we might have time for a question or two, but thank you very much already at this point for having me with this keynote speech.
Yes, that's right. Thank you very much, Moritz. Thank you for your time and for sharing these great insights also with our attendees and our startups. And yes, I do have just two short questions for you. And based on what you've been saying and what I know about you, I know that you attend a lot of innovation events to find new inspiration, to find what's emerging out there and what's ahead of us in healthcare, maybe 5 to 10 years. And maybe personally for you, what are some of the most exciting technologies or advancements that you're looking forward to in healthcare or in healthcare innovation?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I really have to say, innovation for me is really also a challenge, even for our own organization. What is already out there, we don't need to reinvent it, if we can even use that word. So I'm really committed to make sure that we provide or we give people access to have their innovations on our infrastructure, making patient impact, and we don't need to do the same. We are looking then for something else that we want to develop. And so for me, the two greatest areas that I see is really the understanding when we think about algorithms and especially using AI as well, technology-wise, and the increasing and better data sets that we have available, we can really have indications of risk, of the risk of patients to develop a disease much earlier than we would have just from the traditional diagnosis. And we can actually, through that risk stratification, make sure that we very efficiently bring people into a faster confirmatory diagnostic, which typically is quite costly. So this is not just a direct patient benefit to be able to be much earlier diagnosed. It also has a positive effect on society because the costs of treating a disease at an earlier stage are much lower. And when we speak of very severe diseases, also the survival rates for patients are much higher. So this is such an impactful tool, and there's great examples of early prediction of liver disease, of colon cancer, which really are great and already available use cases that we have. The second part is remote patient monitoring, where there is so much that we can do. We've seen this example earlier on multiple sclerosis, where you can really. What I like about examples like this is the ability to actually take out the subjective impression of those few touch points with the healthcare professional and turning these into longitudinal objective data series that can make such a better decision for patients. And again, there's this proactive approach. So two examples that I think are most exciting and really show the power of digital health solutions and the impact they can have on patients.
A lot of data that you've mentioned, so let's keep our fingers crossed that Europe, can keep up pace with America, given, the trends and how we're moving together in the, data spaces. And maybe I would tailor this second question to you, maybe personally, as a big leader and a business manager that you are and that you've developed to be, and maybe share a message to our founders here that are, at the early stages or presenting tonight, or maybe even watching on YouTube right now when they're starting, they're getting their first traction, they're trying to attract the funding, or may have just attracted their first funding, and are trying to build the trust with not only Roche but mainly the healthcare provider stakeholders and patients out there. So maybe if you have a message for them that you like to share personally as Moritz, not necessarily the head of Roche Information Solutions.
Oh, absolutely. And I really, over the years and in very different roles, always made the experience that at the end of the day, trust is a very important element when you're building a business and when you are starting to engage with partners, potential customers, suppliers, investors, all these different stakeholders you need to engage with. So being clear about what you personally stand for as an entrepreneur, what your values are, is something that is extremely helpful to each and every person you will meet and that you will need on your journey. And the earlier you are you're sharing clarity of what you stand for, what you are as a person, and what drives you, the easier it is for people to help you. And I don't think anyone who is opening its door for you to show your innovation, to share your story with them, does that with a bad intent. Everybody is there to look at, hey, can we do something together? Can I help you? So make it an easier journey for everyone by sharing what you're up for and what you want and what you need and what people get when working with you.
That's amazing. Thank you very much, Maurice, for sharing this last thought and also for the whole presentation and very insightful comments that you've made along. Very helpful for our founders joining us tonight. And I wish you the best journey back home to Europe, safe flight, and we hope to see you at other events and opportunities. Thank you very much again, Maurice.
Thank you, and good luck to all the presenters.
Thank you. And with that, we're moving on to the second part of the pitching, where we'll see the other four startups that joined our accelerator. So we're coming to the third challenge that we've had selected for this accelerator and scouted startups for. The third challenge was actually about bridging gaps in patient transitions and patient pathways. And we all know that healthcare is very complex wherever you go. And especially in more serious disease areas, there are multiple doctors and specialists that you need to see at different care centers. And we either all have directly experienced or heard stories about patients, getting lost or maybe not knowing whom to approach, who to get help from. And this is very frustrating for some of the patients. And unfortunately, there's not much we can do about it. But some of our startups are trying to solve this big challenge. And we have specifically looked at areas of ophthalmology and lung cancer, which we've selected together with Roche. And we are looking for solutions creating smoother pathways for patients to gain access to the right care regardless of where they are. And the first startup presenting will be 365 Care IO from Slovakia. And they've created quite a complex solution for telemedicine, but it is quite easy to use. And this product called Telemom allows you to manage your health and chronic conditions in a simple, quick, and affordable app in your phone. And it will be presented by Oksana.
Hi everyone, do you hear me? So, I'm Oksana, I'm from Telemon, it's a universal remote monitoring solution, and I want to talk with you about monitoring. So, monitoring saves life. It's a general truth, but do we really know the depths of it? According to studies, monitoring chronic condition through telemedicine can reduce mortality by up to 56%. Just listen to these numbers, it's every second patient. Cardiovascular disease, diabetes, cancer, respiratory problem can cause 84% of deaths worldwide by 2030. Sorry, it's 2030. It's just in 6 years. 60% of these deaths are preventable. How can Telemon change the situation? I want to tell you a story about Ian. Ian was 36 years old when he had a cirrhosis and he was waiting for liver transplantation. After all examination, he was on waiting list for liver transplantation, and usually patients stay on this waiting list to be monitored for any flare-ups and any infections before the surgery. Ian's risk profile was perfect to use Telemon for this monitoring. So he received a set of medical devices, a phone with pre-installed Telemon app, and he was able to, after our basic training from our support center, he was able to stay at home, to monitor his vitals, to have fewer visits to clinic, and to stay in contact with his doctor. Telemon sent automatic alerts regarding any critical values, and all data were further evaluated by a clinical team. At the end of December, Ian had an episode of fever, and usually it's a contraindication for liver transplantation. So Ian was stayed under the monitoring for next few days, and luckily there was no sign of clinical infection. Several days later, a liver transplantation were available for him. In this case, thanks for Telemon, doctors were able to distinguish between a coincidental fever episode and uncontrolled infection. If Ian missed that liver, no one can predict the waiting time for a new one. So now Ian has a new life ahead with a new liver. So while Ian was monitoring at home, his medical team saved their time for onboarding, for monitoring, and they had all data and all alerts just in one click. That's make Telemon a universal solution for different scenarios. Patients can manage their chronic condition, even multiple ones. Doctors, social care, medical institutions can better utilize their resources. Telemon can be used with any smart medical devices and for any chronic condition. While healthcare providers can have additional revenue, they can increase their patients' adherence and satisfaction, and basically have less stress deciding whom to give a new liver. So less stress for making decisions because they are more informed. Last year, we had 5,000 patients under monitoring, 1,200 telemonitoring home kits in operation, and more than 300,000 measurements taken. And it's not just statistics, it's lives saved and improved by Telemon. We are looking for strategic partner to help us grow worldwide. We have passed the MDR and now we are waiting for official certificates to be delivered for MDR and for ISO. We are currently adding new partners like Czech Republic, Croatia, Ireland, Saudi Arabia, and we are open for any collaboration worldwide. Join us, choose life, and choose Telemon.
Great. Thank you very much, Oksana. Thank you for the presentation of 365 Care and Telemon. And let's go to our expert panel to see what kind of questions they have for you. So if we can pop them up on the screen so I can identify who is eager to ask Oksana about the solutions. I see Tamas is raising a hand, so let's go to Tamas.
Thank you for the presentation, Oksana. It was really impactful and it was really insightful from the details perspective. I would be interested that you brought nice numbers about your current numbers of customers and partners. How does it look like from the revenue perspective? So what is your current revenue and what is the expectation for the upcoming 2 years?
Like, first of all, we want to receive MDR to really start, like, go to market, because right now, without any certification, we cannot, like, ask hospitals to use our solution. We have clinical studies, 7 clinical studies were made. 2 of them are finished and published, but to really have revenue, we firstly need to receive the certification for active marketing.
Compared to the current state of yours, so the numbers have shown that how much people are using your solution. Also, for the device, that's quite high. So, what is the condition they can apply for from the usage perspective? So, how they use your solution then?
It was clinical studies. So, hospitals were delivering set of devices to their patients. Set of devices we prepared for them. All was pre-installed, prepared by our team, and they were monitoring themselves at home. So basically, a lot of scenarios are they are fully reimbursed in Slovakia right now by government. So we were participating in those types of studies. So it's like thousands of euros, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much. Question from Zuzana. Zuzana, we cannot hear you. Don't worry.
Sorry, is the follow-up questions to Tamas' questions that what is the business model, like who will be the paying customer for you? Is it patients or doctors, or is it a combination? So maybe where do you see the future revenue stream, where is coming from, and what is the domain you have there?
We are quite flexible, and this is like nice question because different country has their different pathways according to healthcare system they have. So all such programs, they are reimbursed by government in Slovakia, for example, and it's completely another for US. So for US, for example, we have a B2C scenario when patients are paying, they have subscription for our app and they are paying of it. So we are quite flexible. We are open for a combination of different scenarios. If I haven't time to answer any of your questions, please feel free to contact us for further discussion.
Okay. Thank you very much, Oksana. We'll certainly will
Thank
do.
You.
Thank you for the presentation and for great questions from our expert panel. And now we are moving on to the next startup within this patient transition journey challenge. And the next startup is DEA Medicine or DEA Medicine from Romania. And as we've all heard and seen, majority of industries and businesses are undergoing digital transformations. And as we also heard from Moritz, these transformations are also faced by hospitals, especially in Europe, where it's time to digitize their operations. And DA Medicine helps to convert conventional hospitals to digital entities within just 1 to 3 days. Sounds quite staggering. And DA is offering quite a few tools to improve time efficiency, patient communication, team management, and patient management. And I can see that the presentation is ready. So DA Medicine presented by Adrian.
Hello there. Hello there, I'm Adrian, and this is our everyday patient. She just suffered an intervention and was discharged back home. 3 days later, she had post-op complication. That's why she called an ambulance and she was readmitted back in another urgency hospital. Unfortunately, they didn't have access to her patient file, so that's why they had to redo all the blood tests and investigations. Unfortunately, until they had the chance to see the results, the patient was in a very bad state. And this is the reality. The majority of healthcare providers have their own AHR and they do not share their AHR among each other. And 20% of them have never used an AHR before. Due to the lack of communication, 60% of people discontinue treatment. And they said their healthcare providers need to improve how they interact with them. DA Medicine is the modular all-in-one SaaS solution that transforms traditional healthcare providers into virtual hospitals, solving the lack of communication between them and revolutionizing patient care. We provide a singular point of care for patients, and we give healthcare providers the holy grail, access to updated medical records. As you probably already know, the market is huge. Worldwide, right now, over 80% of hospitals are invested in digital transformation. Our team has the people to implement the solution. The Chief Medical Officer has over 25 years of experience as a vascular and general surgeon, 5 years in telemedicine, and he treats over 3,000 patients every year. He's backed up by a very competent team with experience in England and France, and we have not one but 2 strategic advisors from Tech Angels Romania. They are both serial entrepreneurs in tech and compliance. And I have a background in finance and sales, working as an awarded financial consultant for years. And it seems the others comploted against me and made me CEO. So as the challenge states, we bridge gaps in patient transitions. We can enhance ophthalmology referrals by giving specialists the opportunity, giving them the opportunity to update the shared medical records, but also to recommend investigations to other specialties. Our mobile app is already on the Android store and it dramatically improves the patient journey. Our pre- and post-surgery monitoring tool helps us monitor the patient and also makes the transition from one specialist to another. And also we help the objectives of the European data health space. We take this seriously and we want to know that we are the best solution for Roche. Because throughout the accelerator, we completed over 75% of our roadmap. We connected with as many Roche contacts as possible. We did the product demos of our web and mobile app, and we also created 2 virtual hospitals for Roche. So our next step is to implement our solution in 1 to 2 healthcare providers partners with Roche. 2 is better, of course. What I want to say is that we turn the patients into recommendations machines because nobody loses if they use our solution. We save a lot of time and money for the healthcare providers. We decrease readmissions and we make patients recommend the experience. So this is the chance for Roche to change the game and be recognized for the best experience for the patient. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adrian. You made a clear fear of missing out message at the end, so really, really well done. I want to partner with you, and let's maybe see what our expert panel thinks about your idea and your solution, and I'm sure they have some probing questions for you to better understand where you're coming from. So let's see who has the first question they would like to ask. I see Harry. Let's go ahead.
Yes, thanks for the pitch. Very confident, for sure. You pitched very well to Roche, but putting that aside, who is your kind of main sweet spot target customer, and what's your go-to-market strategy if Roche says no?
So we have a clear go-to-market strategy. We are B2C and also B2B2C because healthcare provider can give access to a mobile app for the patient. But mainly we focus on selling to healthcare providers, small but also big healthcare providers because our solution is very modular. And our go-to-market strategy is we are now piloting clinics. We are now we now want to take in as many small clinics as possible and then to move to public procurement in Romania and also in other countries. And the big goal for us is to expand to US because based on our research right there, over 90% of hospital executives want these kind of solutions.
Okay, thank you very much, Adrian. And who has the next question? Jonas, I can see you twitching a little bit. Yeah, let's go.
I can go next. Thanks very much for a nice presentation.
Thank you.
Great vision you have. It's a little hard to determine how mature the solution is right now. I think the vision is quite clear. So can you talk a bit about, if we try to peel the onion a little bit, and if we focus on your first real-life implementation, do you have a scope of what that could look like to understand or hands-on how a first real-life implementation of the system, how that could look?
So is the question like how can we implement this in real life in healthcare providers?
Correct. And the first use case, what do you foresee that to be the first use case? Is it within ophthalmology? Is it something else?
Well, the first use case right now, we pilot this solution into clinics, and the first use case was in vascular surgery. So it can be used in any kind of specialty. It's just we go to healthcare providers, we understand their needs a little bit. That's what I said, 1 to 3 business days, because we have to have the first day to understand their needs and to personalize the experience for them and for their patients. And then is just plug and play. We implement the solution, we register their patient, their specialists, their schedule, and they can refer from one clinic to another. They can see the shared medical records. We have a lot of modules.
Okay. Thank you very much, Adrian. That's our time for the questions, and thank you for the presentations. And now we're moving on to the fourth, last but not least, important challenge, which is the medical education for physicians. And just like in any other field, doctors need to stay up to date with the most recent medical advancements and research that's being developed and implemented in clinical practice so they can give the best care to their patients. And it is not easy. I mean, I think we all understand that there's a growing strain on physicians, that they have staff shortages, and there's an increased number of patients due to aging populations. So all of this combined also, you know, given the COVID pandemic and how much work and strain that put on them. So it is easy to understand that it's hard for them to keep up with the most recent advancements. However, there are solutions. We see in other industries that there is a lot of transformation in the lifelong learning and content provisions given to the general public, but also to professionals. And in this challenge, we're actually looking for these types of solutions. And the first startup in this challenge is Eduson from Romania. And it is the first and largest online medical education platform in Romania, actually, with over 1,000 hours of video content covering various specialties and topics. And the solution of Eduson will be presented by Oana.
Hello, my name is Oana Păcurar, and I am happy to present you Eduson, our online platform for medical education. Our motto is excellence in medical education because we aim to be a vanguard in the transformative journey of healthcare learning. With a visionary approach, Edusson stands at the crossroads of innovation and tradition, merging cutting-edge technology with deep-rooted academic values to sculpt the next generation of healthcare professionals. On our platform, our customers can find medical workshops, conferences, or webinars. I will start with our business model. Our aim was to have our main source of revenue from subscriptions. So business to consumer. Our users pay a monthly subscriptions to get access to the content, which represents 49.7% of our revenue. On second place, there is the option of pay-per-view. So you can choose any material you want on our platform and buy it and be able to watch it and rewatch it as many times as you want. And last but not least, our business-to-business partnerships. Product manufacturers pay to have access to our events and for us to showcase and use their products. We also have corporate subscriptions, so the business to consumer model. Why is Edusson important for doctors? We consider that they can learn from the best in order to become the best. Some main benefits from having an account on our platform is that they have access to educational content developed by leading experts. They can join and watch and learn from protocols and live investigations done by key opinion leaders. We are equipment and other service facilitators, so they can have access to the latest technology. And we have created a community of doctors ready to help each other, to share opinions or to ask for second opinion in medical aspects. We are a web-based company and we have our own app, which makes access much more easier, and our clients can have all of the information in their account very easy in the app. This is our team, the most important part in our company. We are growing every year and each one's input is very valuable for the development of the company. We have a combined of 35 years of academic experience and also business experience, which helps us grow day by day. So exactly how our platform works, we start with an idea, of course. We think about an event with its topic, we design the content, we discuss with our lecturer or lecturers, and then it takes about 1 or 2 months to plan the event together with our project management team and the lecturers. And then we have the day of the live event when we broadcast live on our platform, the hybrid event with the technical support of our company, of our technical team, or with a third party. After the live broadcast, we edit all the materials and we make it available on the platform for the subscribers to rewatch it or for other users to buy it if they missed the live event. Some of our financial key figures are on this slide. We are proud to say that we have managed to double our revenue each year. That's why we are estimating for 2024 to reach 1 million euros, hopefully, and some other results. Yes.
Those are amazing stats and results. Thank you very much, Orana, for the presentation of Edusson, and let's go to our expert panel to see if they have any questions for you. And please keep your answers short and to the point so you can answer as many as possible.
Thank you.
Hari, would you like to ask first? Let's go.
Yes, quick and easy question. So what's your growth rate at the moment, month over month, and same number I'm aiming also for the churn rate?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question.
So how many customers, as a percentage-wise, how much you grow every month, and how many customers go away every month?
Yeah, so now we have reached 11,000 users with accounts on our platform, and every year we grow. We grew last year with 5,000, so almost we double each year our numbers.
Yeah, great. And how many are leaving each year?
The account stays there. We have to make some statistics to see if they are active. That is a goal for the next period, and to re-engage them because they have access to their account and what they have purchased already, but we want them to be active and to direct them for our subscription because that is our main
Basically,
goal.
you don't know the number. It's okay. Let's go to Thomas.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Just a quick question. So how do you manage the quality control? I mean, how can you assure that the content which is broadcasted on your platform and then allowed to be watched by the users is reaching the quality standards, so from professional-wise? Because that's one of the important figures of yours. So how can you assure that? What is your mechanism?
We work with key opinion leaders and the best in our domain, but all our events are credited by the Romanian College of Doctors. So they revise the content and they approve it, and that's why it is accredited by them.
Okay, thank you. Maybe a question from Jonas?
Yes, it's to build a bit on the last slide with all the numbers. Great to see those. Can you talk a bit about your growth strategy? It seems like you have a strong footprint in your local home market. What is your growth strategy beyond your home country?
Yes, well, in our own country, we are growing organically by advertisements, so good quality of events, and we promote a lot our events. But the strategy is to grow internationally, and we are working on English content, and now we are focusing more on that.
Okay, so thank you. And maybe a question from, I think that's our time already. We only had like 10 seconds left. But thank you very much, Joanna, for the answers. And we look forward to the future for Edison. And
thank you.
Now I would like to introduce our last but not least startup. It's Expir from Spain. And we all probably know the story of Netflix, where you enjoy, and when you come back in the evening from work or wherever you come from, and just put on your favorite show or movie to enjoy. And the next startup actually claims to be the only accredited Netflix for healthcare providers, and to be the fastest growing app for digital engagement of the healthcare providers worldwide. And it's actually co-founded by a French couple who actually reside in Spain, and I'm happy that I have actually worked with them over the program. And the story of Expir, or the Netflix for healthcare providers, will be shared by Daniela. Sorry, Daniela, your sound is off.
Did you know that the average attention span online is just 8 seconds? Maybe I already lost you. I hope not. Yeah, 8 seconds is almost nothing, right? And it's insufficient to change medical practice to really have an impact with independent, let's say, medical education. So what if I told you that on Expir, we have the undivided attention of the physicians for an average of 25 minutes? So yes, I hope you listen, because getting the attention in this attention economy can be a life or death decision, no? So it's all about boosting awareness and triggering their deep engagement, because the healthcare professionals are really a difficult target audience. And we hope to help the digital transformation of companies like Roche and others. So everybody in the sector is searching for incremental reach and, above all, meaningful engagement. So what if I told you also that the investments in digital spending by the pharma companies, principal investors for digital medical education, almost doubled in the last years since COVID, but we see that the curve of satisfaction of the healthcare professional is not improving. So that's not what we want. We doubled the spend and the gap is not closing with the HCPs. And also 1 in 2 HCPs is not even reached by the pharmaceutical company right now with their message. 67% of HCP prefer omni-channel strategy, including digital, but only 8% of them are effectively reached with an omni-channel strategy. So we have a channel problem. 64% of the HCP really see this digital content as a very important piece of information, yet 55% of them are dissatisfied with the digital offerings. So we have a content problem. And it's even more grim with the millennials because they're hungry to learn from their peers. They are not receptive to the pharma commercial, let's say, communication. They are driven by science and they are digital native. So Experian is doing something right if we see that we are growing exponentially in the last years, whereas we see that everybody else is really struggling to get the attention of the HCP. The HCP spend a session of an average of 20 minutes, 25 minutes, I told you, and they spend hour-longs on our educational program. They complete video, when they start a video, they finish it at more than 80% because Experian is a safe space. It's their home. They find comfort inside Experian. They find key opinion leaders and their favorite medical societies there. So the industry is spending a lot of money and doing a lot of effort in content creation. Augment your field force with us, Experian. Amplify your event. Experian formula is bite-sized content, video-first approach like your favorite Netflix series, multi-screen but mobile first, and accredited, certified. It's serious thing, data-driven, and of course tailored to the preferences of the HCP. It's the channel where you engage through knowledge, you elevate your image, and you lead through science. Here are some of our partners. I hope we can put the Roche logo soon, but we work also with institutions worldwide. The next step, if you want to reinvent continuing medical education with me, because there's still a lot to do, book a meeting with me.
Great. Thank you very much, Daniela, for the great presentation, nice and swift. I think for the last presentation, you provided a lot of energy, which is great to see. And now I'd like to give the word to our expert panel to ask you a couple of questions to better understand where you are and where you're going. So who would like to ask the first question, if you can see the panel up there? Susanna, do you maybe have a question for Daniela about Experian?
Yeah, maybe like you did mention like the current numbers about the customers and you know, your growth. Like, so maybe if you can share this with us, so we know, because like the presentation was really nice with a lot of facts, but we missed these numbers.
Yes, so basically we tripled our user last year from 10K to 34K. And this year we are growing exponentially, reaching 100K users on our platform. And the plan for 25 is big. We want to multiply by 10 and reach 1 million users.
Thank you.
Thank you. Quite ambitions. I can see Jonas looking suspiciously, so maybe he has a question in mind. We cannot hear you. I think your mic is muted.
Sorry, two quick questions. One was what was your total revenue last year?
1.1 million.
And that's euros?
Euros, yes.
Thank you. And the payment model / subscription model, can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, it's a B2B2C business, but mainly it's B2B financed by the pharma companies, okay? So they pay for us to develop the educational content, to put the content there on Experian, and to disseminate this content to our audience. So this is the main revenue stream. But also we have the B2C. Now some countries, they are used to pay for the subscription. We saw that with Edison just before. So of course there is the B2C still to explore. It has been organic for now.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can see Harry, yeah, let's go.
The last one ignited me a question that is always a little bit with the doctors and everybody, that is this how pharma companies are rather using you at the moment to advertise their own products and services, or is it in general educate how to overcome some kind of problems in their treatment?
Well, it's medical education purely, so it's independent, not product related. So this is the way to talk to physicians from the evidence and the science. So basically, the pharma companies, they're interested in getting, let's say, they are training out there. So if they have a new treatment, well, they need the physicians to know about these new treatments. If, for example, they are not diagnosing sufficient patients, we have a problem. So they need also disease awareness, no? So it's more this kind of education.
Thank you. And maybe a last quick question from Tamas. We still have a little bit of time.
Just a moment, yeah. So also during the mentoring session, we thought about the possible extension of the potential, not just the users, but the target groups. So can you elaborate a little bit? So not just for pharma companies or not just for direct purposes, but would you have other plans to extend it?
Yes, of course. Hospitals, medical societies, congresses are also our clients. And for the content itself, of course, we can think about nurses, pharmacists, and I would like also to train the patient on their health.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daniela. That was our last pitch tonight. And thank you to all of the startups for great pitches and great presentations and for all the hard work you've put in over the last 2 months. I would just like to highlight that these startups have succeeded in a great competition with over 100 startups from around Europe, have been selected for the program and really worked hard together with our experts and mentors, to whom I would also like to give our gratitude to for their hard work. And also thank you to our expert panel for taking the time this evening to spend it with us and with our startups. And we're looking forward to the feedback that you'll be sharing with the startups. So thank you again, guys. Amazing discussions, amazing questions, and we hope to stay in touch. And I would just like to close it a little bit now from my perspective, that because we've been joking with some of the startups before about that we could probably form a super startup from our cohort where we diagnose, treat, monitor the patients, and then we give it to the educators to educate our physicians about what we've come up with. So I'm really looking forward to what's ahead of these startups, and I'm not sure about you, but I'm really hopeful about a future if these startups really make it and really make impact in the world. And so this was our third batch. If you like the startups, please let us know. Get in touch with us. Either visit our website at healthcarelab.eu or get in touch with us via email. We will be more than happy to share it with you. And look us up on LinkedIn as well. And you should see Slido right now somewhere on YouTube in the comments, or just type in slido.com and enter the code Healthcare Lab, and you can let us know which startups you actually like the most in a quick poll. And now I would like to invite back on stage Veronica to say a few closing words together with me. Hi, Veronica. Welcome.
Hi, Martin. Thank you for having me back.
No problem. So I saw you enjoying the pitches in the back in the production room. So how was this evening for you after all these months that we've been working on this together?
I am super excited. I am really emotional. I really enjoyed the pitches as well as the keynote from our Roche colleague, Moritz. I'm really thankful to the startups for their effort as well, to everyone else, our partners, CIVITTA, EIT Health, all our colleagues and external mentors who joined this program and made it a success. What about you, Martin? How are you feeling?
Well, I'm a little exhausted from standing here, but Daniela with the last speech gave me a lot of energy, so I think I'll still be going after tonight. And I'm really proud of all of the startups for what they've shown us tonight. Really great dedication and great visions. And I'm also excited about what Moritz was sharing as well with the future and how these startups can actually collaborate with Roche to bring these solutions to market. So I'm really grateful that we could experience that tonight together. And I would just like to highlight that this program is not over, right? We'll be working together to debrief on what we've seen from the startups and how we'd like to proceed with each and one of them if we see any potential collaborations. So we're also looking forward to that.
Yes, exactly. We will definitely continue our collaboration with the startups and maybe even launch potential pilots in the near future. So we are really excited about this part. Also, I would like to use this opportunity for call to action for any other startups that are out there with relevant digital health solutions regarding or within our therapeutic areas. Please reach out with your slide decks. We are always happy to hear about new ideas and the trending topics within the external environment.
Thank you. Yeah, looking forward to that. And thank you, Veronica, for sharing these with us. And again, thank you to all of the partners, to EIT Health, to Tamar specifically and his team, and also to you and your team of innovation agents, so to speak, from Roche, for putting together a lot of hard work for the past couple of months working with these startups. And thank you to the mentors and especially to the coaches who were meeting with the startups regularly, making sure they keep up with all the hard work that's ahead of them and guiding them along the journey. And I would also like to thank to the CIVITTA team, to Andre, Samuel, and other people who have been working together with me on this amazing project. And big thank you to all of you watching with us tonight. We really thank you for staying with us if you stayed this long. And we hope to see the solutions of our startups on the market quite soon if they are not there. And let's make sure that we work hard to bring these solutions to market faster. So thank you, everyone, and we hope to stay in touch with you.
Thank you, and have a great evening.
Good evening to everyone.